Okay, so today we are diving into Water Margin, one of the absolute giants of Chinese literature. We're talking a 14th century epic about rebels and heroes that's pretty much a cultural cornerstone in East Asia. But for this explainer, we're not using just any old version of the book. Oh no, our source text is, well, you're about to see.
It's this, a completely, catastrophically, and I gotta say, beautifully garbled digital scan. Yep, this glorious train wreck is what we are working with today. It looks like the book and the scanner got into a fight, and the scanner definitely did not win.
So the challenge is set. Can we actually piece together this massive, epic story from its digital ruins? Can we find the ghost in this very, very broken machine? You know what? I think we can. Let's do this.
Right, so at the absolute heart of Water Margin is this huge army of outlaws, 108 of them to be exact. They're called the Stars of Destiny, and they are the most random crew you can imagine. Warriors, scholars, fishermen, you name it. All of them forced to live outside the law for one reason or another.
Yeah, you heard me. 108 main characters. Think of it like the Avengers, but if every single person in the background also got their own cool nickname and a tragic multi-chapter backstory. Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to find them in this mess.
Let's play a little game. I'm going to show you a snippet from our source text, and just based on the vibe, the sheer energy of the garbled letters, I want you to guess what kind of person we're dealing with. Ready? First up, who is this?
I mean, come on, just look at this thing. The all caps, the random exclamation points, the aggressive punctuation. It just feels angry, doesn't it? Let me give it a shot. Raisin, serrate, wanagra, pyre, gree. It sounds like someone is about to flip a table. A very, very large table.
So this has got to be one of the story's big brawlers. My money's on a guy named Li Kuei, the Black Whirlwind, a dude who mostly communicates through his two giant axes. The text just has his energy, you know? Is this a total guess? Of course. Is it an educated guess based on pure textual aggression? 100%.
All right, round two. Let's switch gears. We're moving from pure muscle to pure brain power. Looking at this next piece, who do you think this character is?
Okay, now what's fascinating here is the structure. See that long, unbroken string of letters? That calm, almost mathematical spacing of CC37KF. It feels thoughtful. It feels strategic. It reads like some piece of ancient, profound wisdom. PRBSLRDUBCIO into Georgie R. Trek. Truly words to lead a rebellion by.
This has to be our main guy, Songjiang. He started as a simple clerk, but he was so wise and just that he managed to unite this whole chaotic band of 108 misfits. And honestly, this text, in its own cryptic, unreadable way, perfectly captures that strategic, noble mind.
So now that we've kind of met a couple of our heroes, the big question is, why are they outlaws at all? Why did 108 people just up and leave society? Well, the answer, as our broken text so perfectly shows us, is that the system itself was crashing.
This is the classic journey for so many characters in the book. You start off as a loyal official, right? And the text is pretty clear, fellers, yeah, terra. But then a corrupt boss frames you, and things get messy. Ura taslad bork bria. Next thing you know, you're in exile, and the text becomes this long, painful crawl. Zama, Bayarn. Until finally, you've got no other choice. You join the rebellion, and you scream the outlaw cry of Tt Ria Slit to L Prie. See? Our text isn't just broken, it's a perfect metaphor for a society breaking down.
So, they're outlaws. They made their choice. What now? What kind of world did they end up building? Well, up on their mountain fortress of Liangshan, they created a whole new society, running on a totally different set of rules. A world of brotherhood, brawls, and, yeah, a lot of banquets. And the contrast here is just fascinating. The empire demanded blind obedience to a broken, corrupt system. The outlaws? They valued personal loyalty to each other. They swapped out formal ranks for true brotherhood, and they replaced the government's unjust laws with their own code of honor. You can see why this story was so appealing, right? It's a theme that still resonates today. This idea of choosing your own family over the system you were born into.
And this right here perfectly captures that outlaw life. It's just pure, unfiltered chaos, and I absolutely love it. You can almost hear the scene playing out. Brie, that's a rowdy toast. OMG, smeeze. Booed, that's someone slurring a great story across the table.
This isn't just gibberish. It's the sound of 108 heroes feasting and fighting and building a new world together.
You know, this world they created actually has a name, the Jianghu. It literally translates to rivers and lakes, and it represents this whole world outside of society, where heroes live by their own code, far from corrupt officials. You can kind of think of it like the Wild West in Chinese literature, a frontier where your personal honor is the only law that really counts. And in a way, our broken text here is its own little digital Jianghu, a world with no rules where we have to find the meaning for ourselves.
So, okay, we've had some fun with this mess, but why does any of it actually matter? Why has this wild story about rebellion and brotherhood stuck around for 700 years? And why does it still connect with us, even when we're reading it in, well, this format?
It's because the themes are completely timeless. This is one of the great stories about what happens when good people get pushed too far. It champions friendship over paperwork, and it asks a really tough question. Is breaking an unjust law the only truly just thing to do? I mean, these ideas have inspired everything from operas to video games, making this story a massive cultural touchstone.
And that's really the biggest takeaway from our little experiment today. The spirit of water margin, that righteous anger, that incredible loyalty, that epic scale. It's so powerful that it just punches right through the noise. It can survive even the most ridiculous, catastrophic digital meltdown. We can still feel the story's heart beating underneath all this glorious nonsense.
And so, the story leaves us with a question that feels just as urgent today as it did in the 14th century. When the system fails, when the rules themselves are corrupt, what does it actually mean to be honorable? What does it mean to be a hero?